Okay. Hi guys. I could only find the reaction video. I couldn't find the original video to do a reaction on. But yeah, this bothered me. It really bothered me. Like, I watched this and I just thought it was so fucking messed up. So I suppose it's not really a reaction because I'm not watching it for the first time, but it's more of kind of a what the fuck is the world coming to? I don't know, am I allowed to say fucking YouTube? Whatever. I mean, not even monetized. Okay. So,
By a CCTV camera in Tesco's.
Because these are my favorite.
Yeah, they're delicious.
Good. You want to pick one?
Sure.
Which one do you want? Sour Patch Kids? Sour Patch Kids are pretty good, but only if I can eat all the blue ones.
Deal.
I'm gonna get apple juice. I know you said that I should drink more water, but
how much you bet, like, and I know I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, like, no, maybe she really is autistic, like, how much do you bet she's faking that? Like, just for, like, views and shit like that, just for clout, as you call it, clout. Like, how much do you bet she's just faking that? I mean, she could really have severe autism, but, like, come on, it's the cute, girly thing that guys love now for some reason. Like, for some reason, you know why they like it? They like it because, you know, we won't express our opinions, basically. Like, taking us back to the 40s, where women couldn't say anything, they didn't have any rights. It's really sad to see, and it's just creepy. She's acting like a child. Does this guy have some attraction to children? You know, yeah, it's really, that's really messed up.
I'm just gonna get some more.
Okay.
Juice.
And she's asking if she can buy juice. Juice. From a shop. As if she's on a school trip. I forgot her packed lunch money.
Do you remember Bluey?
I like
Yeah.
this
I think it was my favorite. I actually have this.
I know you do.
Yeah, have I shown you all my happiness?
I think you have.
Do you want to get a Minecraft Lego set that we can put together?
Sounds awesome.
Okay. This one?
Sure.
Thanks for coming with me. I'm excited to build our Lego.
Yeah, me too.
And look at the basket! Someone on X pointed this out, and I think it's genuinely worth showing you. Candy, juice, toys, the entire basket is coded as childhood. The entire basket looks like what you'd buy a 7-year-old at a service station on her way to her nan's. The original content creator's bio even says autism awareness and advocacy. Awareness of what exactly? That autistic women enjoy juice? Groundbreaking science, that. I also enjoy juice, by the way, and nobody's filming me buying it from a helicopter angle. The whole thing...
Who doesn't fucking enjoy juice? But, yeah, it is stereotypically like a little girl with her juice box. It's just ridiculous, and it's creepy. It's fucking creepy. And I get it, like, some people fetishize that stuff, which is... It's not for me. I find that creepy, to be honest, because it's sexualizing children at the end of the day. And I know I'm going to get in trouble for saying that, because there's some people who are into that, I don't know. But it's just, it's ridiculous. And the juice box. But then again, like, who the fuck doesn't enjoy juice?
looks less like a relationship and more like an escort mission in a video game. You know, like in Skyrim, where an NPC is just stopping you. And you're just like, move out of the way. Because this TikTok was picked up by a guy on X called @WillAttract, and we'll come back to him. And his tweet says, want a happy relationship, get you an autistic girlfriend. And he attached the TikTok that we just watched. And nearly 19 million...
Of course, he's that, like, rock and roll type who fucking probably doesn't. Now, I love rock and roll, and I think like rock and roll is some of the better music, but Jesus Christ, like the amount of guys I've dated because of that, and the amount of guys that were just total tossers, and they're always the same, they're always into rock and roll. It's just, is it a recent thing? Or like, is it, yeah, I don't know. But, yeah. Don't date a guy based on their music taste. I'll just say that much.
People saw this. To put that into perspective, that's more than the population of the Netherlands. 19 million people watched a woman ask permission to buy juice and thought, yeah, that's relationship goals. Oh, and there is a community note on this tweet. Nobody reads community notes, but you should read this one, and we'll come back to it later because it's a plot twist. Anyway, I went looking because that's what I do. I went down a rabbit hole expecting to find maybe a couple of articles and a Reddit thread. What I found was worse. This post is from r/autism in women, roughly mid-2025. The title is, what is this trend of saying that you're looking for a low-key autistic girl on dating apps? These women were noticing the pattern before it went viral. The top comment, with 1.2 thousand upvotes, says, the manic pixie dream girl archetype is nothing new. This is just a rebranding for them. Odds are high that they would actually hate being with an actually autistic woman. And the reply underneath.
That is so true, and that's what I pick up from this is like, it's, yeah, it's just that whole, oh, I'm a cute little girl, I won't say anything, I won't, speak my mind, I will just, go along with whatever you do. And I don't care, if you abuse me, if you, that's an extreme, but come on, like, I don't, I have, and I say this because I have been in an abusive relationship where I did play that role. And I thought I was doing great because I was engaged. And to this asshole. And I was just agreeing with everything he said. And he didn't have a job. He was just, and he was very easily, yeah, he was, yeah, and he was very manipulative. And he'd get cross very easily. He was just, yeah, someone. And see, he was attracted to that. And I'm just warning girls now, don't fall into that trap where you're like, you think you're doing great because a guy likes, he only likes that you're agreeing with his bullshit and he's using you. And do you really want to, if you someday have kids with him, do you really want to have kids with a guy who has no motivation, who is manipulative, who is abusive towards you? Do you really want your kids seeing that? And even if you don't want kids, do you really want to be with a guy who's into that weird shit for the rest of your life? I mean, it's maniacal. It really is, like. And the majority of guys are into that now, and it's disgusting.
They'll love it until they're held accountable by the sense of justice or equity, or until being quirky is inconvenient.
Hi, did you just move here? Are you looking for a good way to meet your new neighbors? Well, come to church with us, and we'd love to show you around. Church is...
That one hit me, because that is the pattern, isn't it? That people really loving a quirk or calling it cute or adorable or whatever, up until the time that it actually costs them something. I don't want to bore you, but I have so many stories from jobs, from friendships, from relationships, where people think, oh, that's an adorable trait, and then a little while later, it's not so fun. So here are the actual Hinge profiles, real screenshots. Like, I go crazy for slightly autistic women, or looking for a woman with a touch of autism. A touch of autism. Ood autism. Like,
Okay. Yeah. Guys, I don't understand that. I think, yeah, a touch of autism, like, oh, yeah, just a sprinkle of autism, you know. Yeah, not the whole, you know, not someone who's really autistic, because, you know, that'd be some work. They might be a bit of work, you know. Oh no. Yeah, that'd be too much for me to handle. No, I just want the person who is just as autistic as I want them to be. Yeah, you know, just, you know, autistic enough that she'll, you know, do it. And I'm not even saying that autistic people do that. I'm autistic. And honestly, I do not possess any of those. Yeah, sure, I have my quirks, but I do not possess any of those childish quirks, and I would not, yeah, I would not want a guy, I don't know, just, it's just creepy to me. Like, I feel like if you sexualize a girl in a childish manner, you sexualize children. I don't, I just feel that way. And say what you want, but that's how I feel and that's what I see. Like, how can you not? But whatever. And like, yeah, like, you know, I just want like a little seasoning of autism here, you know, but I don't want the whole thing, because, you know, that might mean I have to, you know, put some effort into the relationship. Oh no. No. Like, what the fuck?
it's a fragrance, you know, available at Boots. I go crazy for women with just a sprinkle of autism. Not too much. Just like a seasoning. A little bit of mustard. Like a paprika on a chip. Or just enough autism to make her quirky, but not enough to require me to, you know, actually try and support her. The Press Peak journalist who collected these said the sheer amount of slightly autistic women on Hinge profiles was also shocking. And I believe her. This story has been covered already by multiple outlets now. Dazed ran a piece in October 2025 called "Why Are Men Fetishizing Autistic Women on Dating Apps?" They spoke to Millie Evans, who's an autistic sex educator, and said something that I think is worth hearing. She said that men who express this preference either don't know what autism is or want to attract someone that they perceive as more vulnerable.
An absurd number of men on dating apps are saying they're looking for a slightly autistic woman or a mildly autistic girl, some variation on that. I've been using dating apps since I was 18, and I've noticed there's a group of men who every couple of years choose a different condition to use as their quirky little Hinge prompts. And a few years ago, it would have been things like personality disorders, anxiety, low self-esteem. The last couple of years, they've been looking for girls on sertraline, and this year it's shifted to looking for slightly autistic women, whatever that means.
Crystal Kalo, writing for the Bristol student paper Epigram, said she saw slightly.
May I add, I have worked with autists in an autistic unit in a school, in a primary school, and I've seen kids with all different types of autism. You know, it's a spectrum. There's not just, you know, like, I have very minor autism, but I have autism at the same time. And, you know, I dated someone with autism as well, and you know, it wasn't all, well, because his autism was quite severe, and it's not, so, you know, I don't know why. I think it's the whole, like, what was it, that fairy type aesthetic that your one was mentioning, or was it like pixie aesthetic, I don't know, but that she mentioned, it's like they really do sexualize that, and it's kind of disgusting. To be honest, when it comes down to it, it's really, yeah, it's just icky. Like, I don't get it. But then because I don't get it doesn't mean, like, you know, I'm saying, you know, off with their heads. No, I'm just saying, like, I'm just expressing my opinion, basically. And I think that's messed up. Like, what is the world coming to? And it's the whole... And, like, notice she mentioned, like, oh, like, it was sexualizing women with anxiety, women with insecurities, women with... Like, it's like men are so weak now that they want a woman who is weaker than them, or they want to make a woman weaker than them, and they will try and do that. Like, that's weak. It's weak. I mean, yeah, no, I do not agree with that. I just can't get my head around it. I can't wrap my head around that. It's gross. And it's like, I get that people have some fetishes where, oh, you know, the DDLG thing, whatever. Okay, I'm not saying anything about that, you know. I mean, like, you know, as long as you're not hurting anyone, it's fine. But, like, to sexualize such a broad spectrum as well of, you know, it's such a broad spectrum, the autistic spectrum. It's like to sexualize it. And the way he was like, as he said, as he mentioned, the way the guy was like holding it up at a high angle to try and make himself feel bigger, you know, it's really, it's weird, it's creepy. I don't like it. I mean, I don't know. Does anyone else get this? I think it's gross, and I think that, you know, I worked in special needs assisting for 4 years, I think, and I am in university at the moment, and I'm doing a course in childcare and education, and I will just say that I've worked with so many different types of children, and I love it, and I love seeing all the different types. Like, there was one little boy, for example, who had very severe autism, but he, when I left, you know, when I was leaving, because I was only doing part-time there, he started singing the Titanic, like the Titanic song, and it was the cutest thing I've ever seen. Like, they're lovely children, and it's just like, I don't know, maybe that's why I can't get my head around, like, sexualizing that. Is just like, I've worked with so many children with autism, and I've worked with some teenagers with autism as well. It's, yeah, and, you know, I dated a guy with autism. There's just, it's such a broad spectrum, and it's like, they're really generalizing it too. Or they're saying, like, you know, oh, I just want a little bit of autism in you, but, like, I don't want the hard parts, you know, where I might have to, you know, take care of you, or, you know, it means that I might have to put some effort into the relationship. No, it's really, no. Just no. Just no. That's all I can say is, like, no. No. Don't do this. It's why? Yeah, no.
The autistic women so often on Hinge that it went from feeling novel to feeling like cultural regression. Her headline was, "My autism should not be why you want to date me." which, yeah, I mean, that about covers it, right? Tism if you like,
Yeah.
sort of started as
I
a
feel
community
like
in joke.
everyone
It was
knows this now.
autistic people going,
Haven't put that
yeah,
up.
I accidentally charmed someone by info dumping about marine biology for 45 minutes, and apparently that was attractive. It was a self-aware joke, it was funny, it was part of the community. And then neurotypical men found it and went, oh, I'd like one of those, and turned it into a category on a dating app, a bit like ordering from a menu. So this has been building for months. Autistic women spotted it first, journalists documented it, and a pickup artist blasted
Do you think the people, they kind of are so used to having, sorry, hiccup. They are so used to having everything at the tip of their fingers with their smartphones, with, you know, smart homes, AI, you know, GPT, smart TVs, like, you know, they're so used to having everything at the tip of their fingers that they think, like, even, like, the ugliest, but ugliest men think they should be able to have the perfect woman, you know, with a great body, who agrees with everything they say, or they should have to put no work into the relationship, where they, like, do you know how many men are, like, you know, just don't want to work? Like, they feel like they shouldn't, like, oh my god, I dated a guy and he was like, you know, I offered him jobs, I tried to get him jobs, and he wouldn't move from the bed. He wouldn't move. And it's like, is it a thing that's just recently men have started, I don't know, getting entitled, getting, like, you know, and I'm not saying, like, you know, oh, men, they have to do all the work, they have to, and women should just, like, no, I'm saying, like, women can work as well, men can work, but, like, you know, in a household, when you're with someone, like, I think people have gotten too entitled, and I think in relationships, men just don't feel like putting in the work, they don't feel like they have to. And I see some butt ugly men, right, with beautiful women, and they're jobless, they're, like, it's ridiculous, and it's like, you know, put in some effort if you want to be with a partner, whether she's autistic, even, you know, if she has Down syndrome, if she's, like, whatever, doesn't matter, put in some effort. You know, because I'm sure she's putting in more effort than he ever put in. And it's, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I've been there. And I do definitely think people are getting too entitled, especially men. I think men get too comfortable too. You know? Why aren't there more guys like, what's his name? That guy. Yeah. I'll get his name after. But he seems like he has his shit together. He seems like he knows what, like, why aren't there more men like that out there? Maybe I'll meet the guy for me in my university, I don't know. Lady can just hope.
it to 19 million people. But what does slightly autistic mean when somebody puts it on a dating profile? Because I think that's worth translating before we get to the juicy bit. When someone writes slightly autistic on their dating profile, here's what they're actually shopping for. And I do mean shopping because this is transactional. They want directness, but they read that as no drama. Now, I'm direct, most autistic people I know are, but it's not because we're easy to be around, it's because we don't necessarily have the processing bandwidth to lie to you and then to remember the lie later. They want loyalty,
Direct.
intense focus on the relationship, and many of us do that. A relationship itself can become an all-encompassing passion, a so-called special interest. When we care about
Sorry, no,
someone,
keep
we
pausing.
can
But see, the no drama they see when you're direct with them. But the way they see it is like no drama is because like, oh, she's not going to be like, hiding things from me, and she's not going to be like, because we've all done it as women. Like, we've all been like, oh God, I'm not telling you, or I'm just not talking to you now, or, and the guys are like, man, we don't know what we do, you know what I mean? And they're just like, they've no clue. So I can see that, but I mean, first of all, it's not just autistic women who are direct, and also it's like the directness when it gets uncomfortable for them, like when you're direct about them, like say he's a slacker, say he has no job, and you're doing all the work, you're supporting him, you're acting like his mommy, and it's like you're there and you're like, okay, you're direct with him and you say like, oh, well, look, we need to talk about your job, like, you need to get a job, basically, or I can't be with you anymore because I'm doing all the work here. They'll fucking run. Like, at least in my experience with men. That's not no drama. But they see directness as like, oh, yeah, I won't have to deal with her bullshit, basically. When really it's like, no. And then they say like, oh, well, you're just being too direct, No, you can never be too direct. You just need to be honest in order to maintain a healthy relationship. It's basic. And then the loyalty, yeah. I see that it's highly focused on the relationship. Yeah, I could see that. It's it's like, yeah, loyalty. You can be loyal in a relationship anyway,
really care. She's not like other girls, and of course she's not like other girls because she's autistic, mate.
Yeah.
So they also want social awkwardness. Now, this is because they read it as an innocence, a childlike harmlessness.
And
This
that's
is actually
both
darker than it sounds. What they're actually selecting for is low social power. Fewer friends who might tell her that she deserves better. Does that make sense? These are the things being selected for. And
That
here's
I
the
could
things that they're
definitely
selecting
see.
against.
Because I dated a guy for a while and he was such a gaslighter. But, my friend told me, basically like to cop on, like he's gaslighting you constantly and that is not good for your mental health. And then I was just like there, I was literally in tears in the car with him, and I was like, it's so right, you're so right, like. And I come and I tell him and I break up with him because of it. And breaking up with him was the best thing I ever did. And it's like, yeah, I suppose the social awkwardness, like, and the second he did it, he said, oh, well, he broke up with me because of my friends, or because because of your friend. I was like, well, yeah, I trust my friend over you. Like, I've known my friend for 2 years now. You know, I've known you for not even a year. And then he started, surprise, gaslighting me again, trying to, men, God, they really are fucktards.
Why not? Because they don't want to deal with meltdowns and shutdowns. They don't want to deal with sensory overload or executive functioning difficulties, or someone in chronic burnout. Visible stimming that could be embarrassing to them, perhaps, or someone with strong boundaries or resistance to coercion.
See, they don't want to deal with this stuff. And that's why they say, like, oh, I want a girl with, like, you know, a sprinkle of autism, a little bit of autism, you know. Just a touch of autism. It's so stupid. It's like, you know, just because she's autistic doesn't mean she doesn't have a mind of her own as well. That's another thing to think about too, you know,
and anything that requires actual patience, actual effort, or actual accommodation. They want the bits that benefit them, and they don't want the bits that cost them anything. Remember what that Reddit comment said earlier? They will love it until being quirky is inconvenient. That's what inconvenient looks like. That's literally the list. Slightly autistic doesn't mean I understand autistic women. It means I want a narrow, curated version of autism that benefits me. They are creating something akin to a software specification for a power imbalance. So who is spreading this to 19 million people? His handle is will attract, as in will attract women. His bio says, I'll either teach you something or piss you off. His pinned tweet uses the word frame, which, if you're not familiar, is red pill language. It's pickup artist terminology. His content is pickup lines, song lyrics as seduction tools, and how to control the dynamic with women. This isn't some random bloke just sharing a cute song lyrics as seduction tools and how to control the dynamic with women.
Jesus, he
This isn't some random bloke just sharing a cute video of his girlfriend. This is a pickup artist.
Never date a guy with face tattoos. Just don't. That's one piece of advice I will give every girl. Do not. Because they're either slackers who obviously don't want a job or gangsters. Like, it's one or the two. Or the only people who have face tattoos who have any kind of, you know, way about them, wish about them, are celebrities with face tattoos.
His whole account is how to attract women using psychological leverage. He just packaged autism as a dating hack for 19 million people. And when autistic people pushed back, which some of them did, the replies filled with people saying that this is infantilizing, that this is dangerous, and this is not what autism looks like. Have any of you watched recently Louis Theroux's Inside the Manosphere documentary on Netflix? It hit number one.
I'm going to leave it at that. I think I've gotten everything off my chest that I needed to say. I just saw that and I was like, it's absolutely disgusting. And what have men actually come to? So, I'll see you guys. Hope you have a lovely day.